I just want to let you guys know personally that I plan on making my return January 29th.
New tonight, the news Pacers fans have waited months to hear. Victor Oladipo announces his return. We're live at Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
Town leaders in Speedway are responding tonight after a developer halts construction on a major hotel project.
Fighting back only on RTV6, the Central Indiana mayor shares his battle against newly diagnosed Parkinson's disease and the message he has for everyone.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Right now at 5, the return of Pacers star Victor Oladipo is just a few weeks away. We've been waiting months for him to return to the lineup.
And he announced today that he's coming back at the end of the month, just over a year after that devastating injury to his right knee. Sports director Dave First is live at Bankers Life Fieldhouse with all those details. Dave.
Yeah, Bankers Life Fieldhouse, usually a hub of activity before a game. And yes, the Pacers host the Miami Heat. In fact, the team with a walkthrough right now out on the court. That's why we're behind the scene here back in the hallway of Bankers Life Fieldhouse. So already a hub of activity, get ready for the game tonight, but a little different buzz knowing that Victor Oladipo will indeed be returning 3 weeks from tonight when they host the Chicago Bulls. Take a look at practice. This is just yesterday. You can see how easily and how quickly Vic is moving up and down the court. It's been fascinating to watch his return, really, as slow and sure as it's been, taking baby steps along the way, not rushing anything, and really taking advice not only from his doctors and the Pacers training staff, but from players from around the league, including former Pacer Paul George. We talked to PG just last month about that. He encouraged Vic to take his time. He has certainly done that, and now he has set a date.
January 29th. We play the Chicago Bulls at home on a Wednesday night. And, you know, that could change. That might not change. Who knows? But it's definitely good to have something to look forward to, especially after 12 months of wondering and hoping and not being sure, and 12 months of the unknown. So to actually, you know, have something and a goal to look forward to is pretty astronomical for me in this process. But, you know, I'm way stronger now than I was before, especially mentally. So
stronger, and certainly still has that confidence that he displayed the first couple of seasons when he's a member of the Pacers. Look at his timeline, and really what a last year it has been for Vic. January 23rd, suffering that ruptured quad tendon in his right knee. 11 days later, he had surgery down in Miami, and 11 days after that, released his first rehab video, shooting baskets while seated on a table. April 1st, doctors cleared him to walk without crutches or braces. After a checkup in Miami, he's cleared for 5-on-5 practices a couple months ago, and now eyeing January 29th, 3 weeks from the night, as his return for the Pacers. Here's the thing. The Pacers are already playing pretty well without him. You can only imagine what it's going to be like once Vic gets reestablished, how good this team might be if they can get into the top 4 seeds or so in the Eastern Conference playoffs. First things first, though, good news. He's coming back in 3 weeks. Pacers host the Heat coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. Much more on Vic at 6. For now, Dave First reporting live from Bankers Life Fieldhouse, RTV6 Sports.
Thanks, Dave. Some welcome news there. And we are learning new information tonight about a major construction project in Speedway. A developer has stopped work on the new Hilton Tapestry Hotel right across from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at 16th and Main. The project is behind schedule. RTV6's Megan St-Torm has been following this story for months. She found out what's causing the delay and what town leaders are doing to get it back on track.
Town leaders say it's been more than 6 months without any progress on this project, and they've sent a notice to the developer. This half-constructed hotel looks the same way it did before the new year and the same way it did in the fall.
Nobody's ecstatic that we have such a prominent corner that's basically halfway completed and just sitting there.
Sitting untouched for more than 180 days while the community waits for answers from the developer, Loftus Robinson.
Everybody's been anxious to see this get restarted.
According to the economic development agreement between the town and the developer, a work stoppage is only allowed to last up to 180 days. So now, Loftus Robinson must submit a catch-up plan to town leaders.
We anticipate hearing from them within the next 2 weeks as far as where they're at, their current status with the financing problems that they're facing, as well as where they're the status with their contractor.
We tried calling the developer and stopping by their office for a response, but we did not get one.
Best case scenario for the whole project is the developer works out the financing issue with their bank or another bank and gets moving, gets remobilized with the construction company and starts construction as soon as possible.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And the hotel is expected to open about a year after construction resumes. We will continue to follow this story and let you know when the developer submits that catch-up plan.
Well, tonight, Metro Police are busy with 2 more homicide investigations, one on the southeast side, one on the west side. The most recent happened just this morning on the west side at an apartment complex between Rockville Road and Washington Street and just inside 465. Around 8:30, officers found a male shot in a stairwell in a building on Hardin Boulevard. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. Police believe this was an isolated incident. And on the southeast side, investigators are now treating a vehicle crash as a homicide. It happened early Monday morning on the 2800 block of Hervey Street. A man was found dead in the driver's seat of a vehicle after it crashed through a garage and hit another vehicle. 45-year-old Adrian Alexander was dead in the driver's seat. His exact cause of death has not been released yet, but IMPD says the coroner determined his death is consistent with a homicide. If you have any information about either of these cases, contact Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Tonight, an RTV6 exclusive, a mayor's fight against Parkinson's. Greenwood's Mark Myers has a lot on his 2020 agenda. While his city makes economic progress, he's confronting a health challenge he believes will give an opportunity to help others. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez brings us a story you will only see on RTV6.
Let's go, jab, cross. Mark Myers is in the zone. This is his favorite part of his workout. It's intense. Jab, cross, shin. Intentional and ideal in his battle against Parkinson's.
I want to be that guy that says, hey, I've got it. I know what it takes to beat it or to slow it down at least.
For several weeks, the mayor of Greenwood noticed a slight tremor and thought it was caused by a pinched nerve from a previous surgery. In October, the Parkinson's diagnosis was official.
It really affects a whole lot more people than we really realize that it does. When I got hit with it, it took the wind out of my sails, to say the least.
In December, he made public his situation and his plan to face it straight on by spending at least 3 times a week at 9 Round in Greenwood. Here, in a circuit-style routine, he goes through 9 rounds of specific exercises. Every 3 minutes, the buzzer alerts him to the next workout. The goal, to target his agility, his flexibility, and build up his muscle mass, all to deal with the Parkinson's.
I'm in the public eye. They're going to see my hand shake. They're going to see something going on. I want them to know it's okay. It's okay. It's nothing you have to hide from. It's nothing you need to be afraid of.
Finish strong, guys. The mayor is one to sweat the details, especially while focused on his city's progress, and now on his personal health.
I'm going to fight it. I'm not going to let it get me down.
And Rafael tells us that Myers is focused on the Cummins engine project, which is set to create 500 jobs in Greenwood. The mayor has called it the biggest economic development in city history. He's also hoping to use his diagnosis to educate others about Parkinson's. The mayor is 57. Usually the average age to see this neurological disease is 60, but about 10% of patients are diagnosed with Parkinson's before the age of 50. The primary symptom is tremors. Here at home, the Indiana Parkinson's Foundation can connect you to services and programs. You can reach them at 317-550-5648. Here's Executive Director Kim Williams.
There is not a cure today, but we are very hopeful that in the next few years there will be. And until then, like I said, helping to slow the progression with exercise, medication, and staying plugged in with the Parkinson's community helps those with the disease and their care partners to keep from isolating and stay in a positive mindset.
You can find all the details on this exclusive story right now on the RTV6 app. Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6, trying to avoid getting the flu. It might help to know some of the germiest places at work and school. We've got info you won't want to miss.
But first, taking action, first responders in one community doing what they can to prevent young people from taking their own life.
And today was all about sunshine. Soon it will be all about rain. We'll have details on waves of rain, some of it heavy, and a flood watch coming up.
At Ashley Home Store, this is home.
Well, tonight we're hearing from President Trump after Iran's retaliation to the U.S. drone strike that killed one of Iran's top generals. President Trump addressed the nation today after Iran fired more than a dozen ballistic missiles targeting at least 2 U.S. military facilities in Iraq. However, the president said Iran appears to be standing down and he's ramping up the economic pressure with sanctions.
Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world. The fact that we have this great military and equipment, however, does not mean we have to use it. We do not want to use it. American strength, both military and economic, is the best deterrent.
The president said an early warning system gave American troops a heads up about last night's attack, but only minimal damage was sustained at the U.S. military bases. All U.S. and Iraqi troops are safe.
Now to a candid look at a problem that costs more than 120 Americans their lives every day. According to the Centers for Disease Control, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in our country, and it hits hard here in Indiana. In fact, one local community is devastated and trying to cope after the death of a teen who committed suicide this week. Though new suicide awareness programs are in schools, RTV6's Troy Washington reports first responders say more help is needed.
We know we can't solve or prevent all of them, but if we can get the information out there to maybe even save one person.
A recent tragedy is bringing to light a real problem. Too many young people taking their own life. James Harless has been working in Anderson as a paramedic and firefighter for more than a decade.
I have unfortunately responded to a decent amount of suicides.
And it never gets any easier to process.
It builds up on the first responders over time too, so.
Last year, South Madison Community Schools had 5 suicide attempts at its elementary schools. And since 2010, Madison County has consistently ranked one of the highest in East Central Indiana when it comes to suicides.
September of last year, there were actually 2 teen suicides that occurred on the same night.
Harless says enough is enough.
You know, we're human. We have to try to put on that face for the family when we're there, but it does affect us.
First responders have started handing out pamphlets like these in hopes that discussing the issue of suicide head-on is better than avoiding the topic altogether. He and other first responders are standing together to talk about suicide and how to stop the epidemic he says seems to be swallowing his county. Working for you in Madison County, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Anderson firefighters are looking to bring a peer support program to their county for students who may be considering suicide. This would be in addition to programs on various campuses that are already in place, including access to counselors at most schools in the county.
Her fight to get an education for herself and other girls in her home country of Pakistan nearly cost her her life when she was shot by the Taliban. But her miraculous recovery and her continued fight for girls' education is now earning Malala Yousafzai an honored place in the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. It was announced today that her story of the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize winner will be added to the Power of Children exhibit alongside Anne Frank, Ruby Bridges, and Ryan White.
The expanded portion of the exhibit will feature her life, the challenges she faced as she attempted to get an education, and the positive impact she has had around the world. We will recreate her home in the Swat Valley, as we have done with the other children, and present information about her life, showing how she used her humble family computer to express her message.
The Children's Museum says this will be the only permanent exhibit honoring Malala Yousafzai in the world. It's expected to open next year, and they hope Malala will be here when it does.
That looks so interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it in person.
Yeah, good to see you. We'll hope that she does come and visit.
Sunshine today.
Yes.
That was great. Didn't warm us up. This is the coldest day we've felt in a while. When you get back to average January temperatures, we think it's freezing.
Right.
Because it's all relative.
I was struggling a little bit today.
Yeah, the wind is part of the problem. Okay, was want to walk today. Thought I'd grab some video video of this creek. I think creeks, streams, rivers, all within their banks now. Will be out of their banks as we get to Saturday. We've got a flood watch in effect. Flood watch goes into effect Friday night into Saturday. There'll be rain before that, but I think what happens tomorrow night into Friday morning sets the stage then for flooding potential with the next rounds of rain, some of those heavy Friday into Saturday. Right now, we're looking at 2 to 4 inches of rainfall through that period with isolated higher amounts possible by the time this wraps up Sunday or Saturday evening with a rain-snow mix. We'll have a lot going on here as we go through the next several days. We paint this with anywhere from 2 to almost 4 inches of rain, as we were mentioning, across central Indiana. Temperature right now 30 in Castleton. Temperatures still in the 20s in Zionsville and Fishers. Temperatures in the southern portion of the state in the 40s. Foreshadowing the quick warm-up tomorrow. We'll pull the veil of warmth to the north on strong south winds. That'll get our temperatures above freezing. Say hello to Abby. She's got a little blanket on with a bow, ready for a walk this evening.
That's her fancy coat.
I like that. She's got a little salt and pepper going on too.
And a little side eye.
She's a cutie. Get this coat off of me.
Well, she'll want the coat on tonight. She'll take it off when we get close to 60 Friday and Saturday. Thanks to Courtney for sending in the picture. Temperatures are in the 20s through the evening hours. Tomorrow, the wind changes direction and increases speed. That will bump temperatures into the low 50s. We do expect wind gusts over 30 miles per hour. There are the temperatures, with rain most likely holding off until we get to tomorrow night. By 11 o'clock tomorrow night, there's the first line of rain, maybe a rumble of thunder in there. That continues through the overnight into Friday morning. We'll see a break after that before more rain returns. Friday temperatures through the day, middle to upper 50s. The record for the date in the 60s, low 60s. We'll be pushing that at 59. Then more rain during the day Friday. We'll see some breaks in there, but it's Friday night into Saturday morning. Another final push of heavy rainfall. We may mix with some rain and snow before this ends later Saturday. We're dry for a couple days. Then temperatures start to come back up after a cooler Sunday.
All right, so get ready for all the rain on the way.
Yes.
Thank you, Kevin, for that.
Well, big news for all the fans of ABC's The Bachelor. We've got The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, and now a new addition to the Bachelor franchise. The Bachelor, Listen to Your Heart, premieres Monday, April 13th here on RTV6. 20 single men and women will try to find love through music. They'll sing well-known songs both individually and as couples and look to form attractions and hopefully love through music. Ultimately, only one couple will be left standing. We don't know the host yet. We will keep you posted as more details become available.
Next, bachelor party and bachelor's degree. 2 shows in the future, maybe? Okay. Girl Scout cookie time. And the new cookie is more than a tasty treat. It's a source of inspiration.
Hiring Hoosiers, only on RTV6.
Hello to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV, and we are covering 2 huge trials for you today. Jury selection continuing in the Harvey Weinstein rape trial. The media mogul charged with 5 different sex crimes against 2 women. Another 120 potential jurors are being questioned today. Yesterday, 36 prospective jurors were asked to fill out questionnaires and then return for more in-depth questioning next week. We will have live updates from our New York studio for you as they come in. And we are also in Southern Ohio right now for a heartbreaker of a case. Parents Daniel and Jessica Groves are accused of killing their infant son, baby Dylan. This morning, caseworker Patricia Kraft outlined what Daniel told Child Services regarding his drug-free status and his overall interest in his baby boy. Jessica Groves is taking responsibility for the crime, her attorney promising the jury that she will testify that she acted alone in murdering their infant son. Baby Dylan was found in the bottom of a well, wrapped in plastic bags and weighted down. He also had drugs in his system. If convicted, his parents could spend life in prison. As always, you can count on Court TV for live gavel-to-gavel coverage of America's most compelling criminal trials. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
The Girl Scouts of Central Indiana are celebrating a big gift, a $7.5 million grant from the Lilly Endowment. The news comes the same day as Girl Scout cookie sales kicks off. While cookie sales are a big fundraiser for the charitable organization, today's news is a huge investment in their mission and future. The bulk of the money will be placed in an endowment to serve the organization for years to come. The Girl Scouts are one of 13 local organizations receiving a total of more than $54 million from the Lilly Endowment.
I think when you have this kind of an opportunity, it allows you to think big. It allows you to think about your organization and needs like new technology advancements, how we engage with our volunteers, how we get women role models to engage with our Girl Scouts. It's just one small example of things that will be great to continue to engage Girl Scouts in the leadership experience, but really in the normal operating budget, you may not be able to take on those aspirational strategic plans.
Now to the other big announcement of the day, the kickoff of Girl Scout cookie sales and a new cookie. Lemon Ups replaces the Savannah Smiles, and each cookie comes with an inspirational saying on them like be a leader, be an innovator, be a go-getter, be a risk taker, which is something Girl Scouts hopes for all of their girls.
Looks tasty, too.
Yum.
All new at 6 p.m. here on RTV6. There is a new effort to address bullying in your child's school. Call 6 Investigates. Kara Kenny shows us why one lawmaker says his bill could save lives.
But first on the Now, Indy, the city is in full swing preparing to host college football's biggest game. It may be 2 years away, but new details were released today. You're watching RTV6.